Hey, well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. Thank you for tuning in so much. Well, on today's episode, I'm talking about I'm calling it the Great Backlash, but why is rapper Nelly and Snoop Dogg getting backlash at the inauguration? Now, a few days ago was the President Donald Trump's inauguration, and they've been heating up. The internet online been heating up with this topic right here. So I'm gonna dive in deeply, and I'm gonna share some insight. I like sharing this because it's also I'm not a big celebrity content creator, but I share this kind of content because I like teaching and showing you it's a learning lesson and showing you and teaching you about it's learning tools and learning lessons, but of course sharing up from the word of God, sharing scriptures to back up how celebrities live their life and daily living and daily life. Well, let's dive in deeply on today's Zaccheus with another live word of the day.
Well, Snoop Dogg will be performing at the Donald Trump inauguration. I guess money buys anything. Snoop Dogg in the past has talked about Donald Trump and the Republicans like they're dogs. He was a Democrat. He believes in people's rights. But I guess that dollar bill changes everything. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of my people selling out for the almighty dollar. I'm tired of my people selling out just to get a slice of the American pie. It seems money, power, and a little bit of respect would get you to do anything. I could never imagine Snoop Dogg performing at Donald Trump's inauguration, but I guess I was wrong, and you was wrong too. I tell you, they keep playing in our faces. That's why you don't believe politicians, entertainers, or rappers. They'll do anything to make that money and get a little bit of that power. Snoop Dogg has let America down, but you have let yourself down because you voted Republican, you voted Democrat, you listen to his music. God is awful now, and you do about anything they say. It's time we start understanding. Snoop Dogg sold out for the dollar bill. Rappers and entertainers do it all the time.
And Marquise Speaks is right. Um, Listen, people will do anything for the mighty dollar, sell out, sell their soul, and they'll go against what they first said initially, just for that mighty dollar. And they'll do it. Artists will take sacrifices just to sacrifice themselves or who they are, their integrity, just for that mighty dollar. Some celebrities will do that. And Snoop Dogg and Nelly never said that they were conscious rappers or conscious or speaking for the people, power to the people. They never said that they're about that. They never said that. So they've been sold. They've been sold out. Been sold out, and that's what people have to understand. So a lot of people jumped online and started just going after just backlash after backlash. There was other artists at the performing at the inauguration as well. Other artists too as well. Nelly, Hurt Rick Ross, and so on. But Snoop Dogg and Nelly got the biggest backlash. And this is why. Because this is what Snoop Dogg said before the 2020, before this Donald Trump inauguration. This is what he said in 2017.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the out one of you Uncle Tom ass for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first? Oz is the one that performs for himself. So that is Snoop Dogg.
And that's what Snoop Dogg said back in 2017. Yeah. And this is why the reasons why he's getting a backlash because he's always been a Democrat. And this is what he said. Because remember, when you're in the public eye and you have a name out there, and I said this before in the other video when I was sharing about Fat Joe. When you have a name out there and you're in the public eye, you got to be mindful more than the average person on what you say. And he said that back in 2017. and he performed in the presidential Donald J. Trump inauguration, and he said that back in 2017, and people is resurfacing that video on what he just said, what he said in 2017, and they're bringing it to how we all of a sudden now you could perform. You're friends with you're cool with President Trump, and now you're performing. Well, this is why people like Marquise, content creators like Marquise, speaks as saying what people will do to sell their soul for that mighty dollar. And the internet heated up with that, right? You know, the backlash. And the thing is this, that Snoop Dogg music and Nelly music, which is promoting scantily clad women, and Snoop Dogg with the dog pound and everything like that, they never really push conscious, not even push conscious lyrics like that, conscious music like that. So they would never really, they talk about, oh, they sold out, they sold out. No, they've been sold out. They've been sold their soul. So what people are coming out with in the TikTok reactions is they've been sold their soul. And that's what you gotta recognize. Artists that made it to the tip top, a lot of them, most of them been sold their soul. They've been sell their soul. But you're not gonna give backlash to, for another thing to, I'm gonna say, you're not giving no backlash to when we kill each other, and when we bring down each other, we dog each other out, we gangster rap and all murder and everything like that and mayhem. You're not calling them sellouts for them, but all of a sudden now you're calling them sellouts because they perform for Donald Trump. All of a sudden now you're calling them sellouts. But I understand it was on Dr. King's day. You gotta honor Dr. King. It was on Dr. King's day, and they figured that Snoop Dogg would have turned it down and Nelly would have turned it down. But oh no, not for the money. Not for the money. Now you gotta understand this. There was a moment in time where every minute a rapper was getting killed. Black people were killing each other. And in the music, artists were getting killed. You're being a sellout like that too. You're being a sellout like that too. You're selling each other out. When you hurt each other, we selling each other out. So respect goes all around. You gotta respect each other, and we gotta pay reverence to the ones that's paved the way before us, like Reverend Dr. King, like the late great Dr. King. Respect goes all around. We gotta respect each other. So why you all are surprised? Why that Nelly and Snoop Dogg and Rick Ross and other artists perform for Donald Trump during inauguration?
It's not hot in her, but Nelly got some heat for his performance at the Liberty Ball for President Donald Trump's inauguration. And I'm not scared of backlash, is what the rapper said during an interview. He defended his decision to perform, and he said, regardless of the differences we have, it's all about coming together and being positive. He also says it's happened over and over again. This isn't the first time he's had people question his collaborations or performances. He talked about doing a country crossover song back in 2004. You guys remember that one with Tim McGraw, getting heat from the hip hop community asking him, Nelly, what are you doing? Well, he says now he sees Black country artists like Beyonce and Shabuzi making breakthroughs in the genre, and it's great to be ahead of the curve. As for performing at Trump's ball, he said it all boiled down to respect.
It's not about a campaign. This is not a campaign trail. This is not anything that I feel like I'm influencing people to the way on how they feel, but it's more about the respect and the honor of being invited for what I like to call the greatest country on the planet.
All right, so there you have it. He did end up performing late last night. Despite that backlash, he's not the only artist who's received some. Rick Ross, Snoop Dogg, Chrisette Michele also receiving backlash for performing for events for Donald Trump. But again, he said it was all about respect, guys. So you can see that video there posted on YouTube if you would like to see the performance.
Now here is I seen this interview with Willie D. This is Willie D's podcast, Willie D Live, and Nelly. And Nelly was saying in this interview that, listen, not every day I get an opportunity like this. Not every day a president gets to call me to perform, and I get to perform in an inauguration. This is an honor to me. Now, whether you want to call it selling out or I get backlash, whatever I do, I'm gonna get backlash. And that's what Nelly was trying to say to Willie D. And Willie D is saying, nah, brother, I mean, but you already have a name. You have other opportunities out there. You just gotta tap into those opportunities. You don't have to sell your soul or sell out. Because remember, it's not the King's Day. And Nelly was saying, listen, whatever you want to call it, it's an honor for me to, even if Kamala Harris would have won, if she would have called me to perform during the inauguration, I would have performed, no matter who it is. So it is an honor to me. Not every day, as artists like myself, Nelly gets people knocking down this door to receive opportunities like this. What I want to sell my soul, whatever you want to call it, but ching ching ching, he did it for the bag. Now, Sexy Red. This was the ultimate disrespect right here. And to me, Dr. King should be honored all the time. And she got backlash because she had an image, a Photoshop image of her looking eye to eye with Dr. King. And Sexy Red, as you know, her reputation as a rapper, not a good reputation. Scantily clad all the time, twerking. Her lyrics are raunchy, overly sexual, and this was a disrespect, big time. And here's the article that I found. Sexy Red apologizes after being slammed by MLK Jr.'s daughter for use of disrespectful and distasteful AI image. And it's very distasteful. This image that she have with that embracing Dr. King. As you can see, the little image I have there, and Sexy Red had to apologize. Now, we gotta show more respect to our ancestry. We gotta show more respect to our elders that been there, that paved the way and been there before us as Black people. And I'm glad she humbled herself to apologize to Bernice King, the daughter of Dr. King. And the thing is that was very distasteful and it was very disrespectful. I'm glad she did that. I'm glad she apologized, acknowledged where she did wrong, and she apologized. Listen, and it was just downright disrespectful, man. No respect. And here's the image that you can see it a little bit more clearer, a little more clear in the image, and that's the image that was very distasteful and disrespectful. This is intentionally distasteful, dishonoring the deplorable and disrespect to my family and my. This is what Bernice King said to my family and my father, who is not here to respond himself because he was assassinated for working for your civil rights, human rights, and it ends in the end war and poverty. The end war and poverty. Dr. King, civil rights, and we're not gonna disrespect. Not gonna disrespect Dr. King. Not gonna disrespect him. Not gonna the things that he sacrificed to live comfortable. He could have been a Baptist. He could have been still stayed a Baptist minister, but instead he sacrificed his life, fought for civil rights, so you can have rights, so you can shake your rump and twerk everywhere you want and anywhere you want in the world, so you can sit in front of the bus, so you can go to any class or any hotels you want, so you can swim in any swimming pool you want, so you can do all the things, all the rights that been granted to you. And We gotta show more respect to our elders. We gotta show more respect to the elders. Fought poverty, sacrificed his life, spoke up against the Vietnam War. A lot of things that the king did. We gotta respect them. And they need to put on YouTube the Eyes on the Prize documentaries. You need to push that more so our young people can learn. And the thing is this, that as parents, especially if you know about Eyes on the Prize, this American Civil Rights Movement, we need to introduce it to the young people today because they lost their roots, they lost their who they are. And for Sexy Red to be having an image like that, it just goes to tell you where we have, how far we have gone as a people. Truth of the matter is that we forgot. Not only forget, but a lot of young people don't even know who they are. This is why you'll do anything for $1. This is why you'll bend backwards and go beyond the call of duty for $1. And the thing is that we have no gatekeeping at all. As black people, we just go in anything and accept anything. And that's the problem, and that's an issue. So when the young people see that, like Sexy Red, she can do an image like that because we don't respect ourselves. We gotta have more dignity and pride in our culture and who we are and respect ourselves. And this is why it's easy to sell your soul because you have no pride of who you are. And that's a fact. Now, the live word of the day is coming out of Mark chapter 8, verses 36. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? You lose your soul because you have no pride. You lose your soul when you forget who you are to do things, all for that money. Well, this is Zaccheus with another live word of the day. God bless and be safe out there. And if you like what I shared, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel, Zaccheus Gospel. I got more coming for you. God bless and be safe out there. Peace and blessings.